Hello, mathematicians, and welcome to math lesson number 16, where we continue to put these decimals into some practical uses. So we're going to use some decimals with measuring. So measuring obviously helps us find out how long something is, and the basic unit of measuring length is the meter. Okay, and its symbol is a little m. And you might be wondering, hey, Miss Hughes, how long is a meter? And it's going to be hard for me to show you right here, but this is a meter stick. So we can slide it along and then get to the end. Now you can't see this part because they didn't have enough room to write the last number on there, but you know what number comes after 99? That's right, it's 100. So a meter is 100 centimeters long. So that would be another unit of measurement. And its symbol is a cm. Oh, wait a second. Cent. Hey, didn't we just see that when we were talking about money? How many cents were in $1? 100. How many centimeters are in a meter? 100. So cent means 100. Now I don't know if you noticed that this meter stick changes color every so often. Oh, every 10 centimeters to be exact. So there's another unit of measurement that is 10 centimeters long, and it is called the decimeter. Does not get used very often. Its symbol is dm, and it is 10 centimeters long, and there are 10 of them in a meter, so the word deci means 10. Now there's a smaller measurement that allows us to be even more precise, and it doesn't show up on my meter stick. You're going to need a ruler. Now I've discovered that my ruler is kind of dark, so you might need to check this out on a ruler at home. So there's a side that has the numbers really far apart. We want the side where the numbers are close together. That's the centimeters. So each of these longer ticks is measuring in centimeters. And if you look closely in between, there are some little teeny tiny ticks, and there are 10 of them for every centimeter. Oh. What's 10 times 100? 1,000. So these smaller units are called millimeters, and the symbol is mm, and the milli part means 1,000 because there would be 1,000 of those little ticks on my meter stick, which is probably why they didn't bother to write them in, because that would take a long time. But we can use them on a ruler, and they help us to be really, really precise. So if we're measuring something and it's more than, say, 8 centimeters and it sticks out a little bit longer, then it can help us be really, really precise, which can be important if you're building something and you're not precise. Your house might fall over. That would be a problem. Okay, so in decimals, 1 meter is 1 whole, so the 1 goes in the ones column. A decimeter, there's 10 of them, so it's 1/10 of a meter. So it's 1/10 of a meter. A centimeter, there's 100 of them, so it's got to go in the 100ths column, so it's 0.01 of a meter. And a millimeter is in the 1,000th, so it's got to go in the 1,000ths column, so it's 0.001 of a meter. Okay. We probably won't use those numbers too much. What we do need to know is 10 millimeters is equal to 1 centimeter. So when you're looking at your ruler, to help you measure in millimeters and help you with the counting, they have made a longer tick in the middle of each of those centimeter ones, and that will show you where 5 millimeters is. So it shows you halfway, just to make it a little bit easier, because we like it when our life is easy. Okay, so speaking of easy, it's time to actually measure something. Okay, so when you're measuring, it's super important to line up the 0 of your ruler with the precise edge of what you are measuring. Now my ruler doesn't have the 0 because there wasn't enough room for them to write it on there. So you might have to know where the 0 is. Okay, figure that out. If this is 1, you know 10 millimeters over is gonna be 0. Okay, if I don't line up the 0, if I just kind of stick my ruler in here, look at I'm measuring all of this air. Well, I don't need to know how long the air or the empty space is. I need to know how long this box is. Okay, so I can count up. Remember, 0 doesn't count, so we just count the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this box is 10 centimeters wide. Okay, what about how tall is this box? Okay, so I've got 0 lined up. It's not exactly 4 centimeters long, but it's longer than 3 centimeters long, so I'm going to need to use millimeters so that I can be more precise. Okay, so I'm looking in here. So I've got to 3 centimeters. I'm past 3 centimeters and 5 millimeters. Looks to me like this side is 3 centimeters plus 8 millimeters. Well, we know that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So that means 1 millimeter is 1/10 of a centimeter. Well, we know how to use decimals to write a tenth, so we know that this side is 3.8 centimeters long. Oh, we also know that if 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 8. We could also say that this is 38 millimeters long. So how long is this square or rectangle this way in millimeters? Okay, we figured out that it was 10 centimeters, and there are 10 millimeters in each one of those centimeters. So we can actually, each of these centimeter marks, we could count by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So this side is 100 millimeters long. Or we could say 10 centimeters, right? Just a different way of looking at our measuring. Now, in your math book, you might also be asked to draw something an exact length. So the first thing you want to do is to use a ruler to find out what that exact length is and to mark the space. So if I was asked to draw a leaf 6 centimeters long, I'm first going to start out by using a ruler to make 2 lines to mark the exact distance. So I start out with a 0, and then I look for the line that's 6 centimeters. Okay, so I know that my leaf has to fit in between those 2 little marks. And it should fill up the whole distance because I've been asked to draw one that is exactly 6 centimeters long. Okay, so now I've got to do my drawing. I know the end of the leaf has to go there. And there we go. I have drawn a leaf exactly 6 centimeters long. Okay. Alrighty. So when you're moving from centimeters to millimeters, we're going to multiply it by 100. When we're moving from millimeters to centimeters, oh, sorry, we're not multiplying by 100. Back up. When we're moving from centimeters to millimeters, we're going to multiply by 10, right? Because 10. And when we're moving from millimeters to centimeters, we're going to divide by 10. And the sneaky way of multiplying by 10 is to stick an extra 0 on the end or move the decimal place 1 hop to the right. And the sneaky way of dividing by 10 is to take away a 0 or move the decimal place one hop to the left. Okay. All right, you should have everything you need to know to do your math work, other than knowing what is your math work for this week. So if you have a green math book, you're going to do page 256 and page 257. And if you have a blue math book, you're going to do page 98, page 99, and page 101. Don't bother doing page 100. Okay, skip that one. Okay, if you need any extra work, we're kind of zooming through this measurement unit to make sure we have time to do some other things that I think are really important. But if you need some extra practice, green, you can do page 258 and 259, and blue, you can do page 102 all the way over to 105. Okay, so parents, again, if you need some extra work to keep your students busy, or if they're maybe not being as helpful or as kind as they could be, then there's something else to keep them busy. All right, take care, good luck, happy mathing.